So today's segment in the podcast is about appreciating life a little more. Um, that's something I definitely have learned over time, and it just came as a realization to me that I need to appreciate life more. I started thinking about life a little more deeply, and it just made sense. I started looking around, I started acknowledging experiences and the day and how things go in life. And I realized, I appreciate life more than what I thought I did. And it only came about thinking about it in a deeper way. I started thinking about it more outside myself. Um, for example, um, I got a scar the other day. I was working on something and I got cut on the top of my hand. I got a little long cut that starts from the side of my finger next to my pinky, a little bit like past the knuckles, just a little like cut that goes from there up to the knuckle. It's not a big cut. I mean, it didn't even hurt much. It didn't even hurt at all, actually. It was just like a deep cut and it was bleeding a lot. And, I didn't even get mad. It was just more like, oh, look, I got cut. And I kind of I when I got cut, I knew at that time, I'm just like, I'm gonna get cut. I'm definitely gonna get cut. When it already was too late and my hand was already caught in the middle between the thing. But I didn't even get mad. That's what I'm trying to say. The way I saw it and thought about it was, well, I'm gonna get cut. I got cut. This could only have happened just doing what I'm doing. This could only have happened from me being someone who's just living my life and just doing what I do. And so I got this cut. And like I said, I didn't even get mad. Normally in the past, I would have gotten mad. I would have been like, damn, blah, blah, blah. This sucks. I would have probably stopped what I was doing and just thought about how stupid things are. But nah. This time and many times before, I just said, well, I got cut. I just quietly and simply went to go heal it, washed it off, put some alcohol on it, and put a patch over it. And that was it. And then I went back to doing what I was doing just as if nothing happened. And days later, about 3, maybe even a little less than that, it's already practically healed. You already got the scab formed. And yeah, I look at it and I just thought to myself, man, I don't have any tattoos on me, but I look at the scar and just a few other little ones, but mainly this one because this is the most noticeable one, and it goes long across the finger a little bit. I think about it man, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, maybe 50, whatever, if I live that long, I'm going to have this scar. It won't be as this noticeable, but I can guarantee it'll always be there. And it's a scar that I didn't have before. Before, in my so long years of my life, I did not have this scar at all. And it's not until a few days ago in 2022, in April, early April, that I got it. That I got this cut that caused me to bleed quite a bit. And now I have it. And like I said, like 20 whatever plus years from now, I'm going to look at this. And I could think back of the time where I got that cut. Just doing something simple, doing my thing, unexpectedly got this cut. And that's what made me appreciate life. That stuff like that's what makes me appreciate life. It's just the way I think about it. And it just makes me, enjoy life and really appreciate it in a way I haven't before. I look at this scar as just a memory to look back on. I can sit on it and just be like, wow, I got this cut doing this so long years ago. And yeah, it's just part of life. That's what I've realized. When you're born, when you exist, and you are you, and you are living this body, that is when you could only start experiencing what a cut is, what is feeling tired, what is feeling angry, sad, what is feeling annoyed about going to school today and going to work or whatever. It's not until you're alive and living life that you can experience this. Before, you knew nothing at all. You can never know anything before you existed, obviously. I mean, there's only history to look at. But as far as your life goes, all you know is a moment in time forward until you're whatever age, until it's time to pass away. And it just made me think about how complicated life is. I mean, how you're born, being a baby that knows nothing to now, and going from a body with no scars to then having a body with some scars, or quite a lot, or maybe some sort of injury of some sort. But you can only experience this with life and living. And so I think about other people who are living in more critical and horrible situations and places. And I think to myself, man, if I were in that situation, or if I got lost, stranded somewhere, I'm going to think about this scar I got and think to myself, man, if only I was just working on that same thing I was, or doing what I usually do, and even if I got a little scraped or cut or whatever, even if I had to have gotten stitches, I'm going to think to myself, man, I would rather be in that situation doing that. I would rather be at work. I would rather be in traffic and barely moving. I would rather be in these situations that suck instead of being in a more horrible situation. And it just makes me appreciate life 100 times more. Like, I may not have it the best in life. I may not, be the richest or whatever. But, as far as, doing tasks goes and handling problems, whether it's going to some sort of work, or, taking a family member somewhere, whatever typically one would think it's annoying or such a drag, I like to think about it differently and think about it like, you know what? This is a drag because I'm alive. And so in my mind, I think this is a drag, and it could be. But compared to a horrible situation, if we were to, put it side by side, I'm going to appreciate, you know, having to maybe go to work, do some type of job somewhere, and deal with those hours. I'm gonna look at it differently because I'm thinking to myself, this is life, and this is what life is. This is what all there is in life, is just how it is. If you need money, you get a job. If your business isn't doing well, you figure out something to do. If you have to go out and take a drive to do something important, and it's just going to be a task, it's going to be a hassle, well, unfortunately, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take driving up there. It's going to take going in there. It's going to take doing the process and dealing with whatever hours. It's going to take maybe sweating a little bit and maybe being in a little bit of a panic. That is something that I realize that it is not necessary in life, but it is part of being alive. I look at feeling panicked as a natural thing. I think about it as, oh, I'm panicking? Well, that's because I'm trying to do a good job at something. And so it only makes sense that I'm on high alert and I'm just completely focused on this and, hoping to God that I do this right. If the time is going to be a drag, I think about it like, you know what? It's not so much that the time's a drag. It's just that I just have to snap out of it and accept that this is going to be the time to do what it is. Unfortunately, it's just going to take those couple of hours. And I just think about it like, wow, this is just what the process is. Just like if you were going to be gardening, you would have to attend it, probably wake up early, set up your machines or whatever, and just go do the thing, plant by plant, watering, feeding, cutting, whatever else. That's just what it's going to take. And so I started thinking about it like that. It's like, I would think like, oh, okay, well, why is what I'm going to do going to take these couple of hours? Why is it going to take 6 hours? Why would it typically take 6 to 7 hours? I start thinking about it like that. I start thinking about just the process overall. I start thinking about how necessary is it to even be 6 hours? And then I would realize, oh, well, it helps with the demand. It helps with getting something done to get more done. You do this thing, you get something done, and it gets something done from someone else, and it gets something done for you, you get paid, you get satisfaction, and it gets something done for someone on the side who just appreciates it. And, it took those hours because this is the amount of stuff we had to do. And if we accomplish these 6 hours, we're in a better pace. We're in a better place in the line. And it just kind of helps everybody. That's the way I think about it. It's like, wow, these 6 hours, it's just what it is. And if I don't like what I'm doing for 6 hours, or if I think it sucks, then I would either figure out something else to do for 6 hours that's different, or maybe figure out a way to turn 6 hours into 3 hours, and that's all I would need. And hope to God that in those 3 hours I can get the same as if I did six, and probably just be easier. And that just makes me appreciate life. It's like, wow, if I'm breaking a sweat in something, you know, I at least know that I'm sweating because I'm a human being. I'm sweating because my body and everyone else's body has a system that sweats because it's hot. And so your body is pretty much working like a machine, like some sort of air conditioner, to try to, do something about the heat. And that makes me appreciate life. It's just like, wow, I'm alive and I can sweat. And it's natural to sweat. If it's hot, I'm going to sweat and my body's going to cool down. And if I drink good enough water, I'm not really going to feel the heat so much. I'm just going to keep going, not even mind it, and just feel a little wet. And that's the way I think about it. Before I would have been like, man, sweating sucks, man. Look at how much I'm sweating, man. I need to stop right now and just, throw a fit. But now I'm just like, hey, man, like, I can sweat. That's interesting. I mean, if I couldn't sweat, then it'd be different, because I think maybe internally I'd be having issues. We'd all be having issues, and we definitely have to stop to drink water and just sit off until we cool down to then go back. And it probably wouldn't be recommended to work through heat. But we could sweat, it does a little something, and we can keep going. And, just like with the cut, I got cut. Well, isn't it interesting that the body can sweat if it needs to cool off, and I can also heal if I got cut. It has a unique way. The body has a unique way to heal. So this cut in no time is just going to be completely healed. That cut is going to be completely patched up without stitches, and it's not going to hurt. It's not going to bleed anymore, and that's it. And so I think it's very important to appreciate life in a completely new level. If, God forbid, you get a flat tire somewhere, well, just think about it as it's part of life. Of course, you'd want to be a little prepared for that a little bit. Maybe have your cell phone charged and, have a little bit of cash just in case you have to call somebody. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, if you were in this flat situation, instead of being completely upset, you can just look at it as, you know what, this is part of life. Think about it like in a movie where the guy or the girl gets a flat tire when they're trying to get somewhere. They just have a flat tire, and you're just observing them with a flat tire, finding it entertaining, and you're just watching them and as what they figure out what to do. And most likely what you're going to see in the movie is they're just going to wait and wait and wait. And all of a sudden, a car is going to pass by that slows down and offers help. And boom, now you're getting help. They hook you up. Next thing you know, you got the car to a mechanic. They put a wheel on you. It only cost $80. And that's all it took. Just $80 of your life. Plus maybe an hour wasted just waiting. But at least in that situation, if you were to just look at it as, oh, well, flat tires happen, tires pop. It was inevitable for a tire to pop at one point in life. Just like a tire may deflate. If you were to think about it like that, then you just know that this is the time to have a flat tire. So you could just, hopefully if you have a cell phone, you're going to make a phone call, maybe Google a nearby place and figure something out. But at least you could just accept that flat tire, accept it's going to take maybe an hour or more. You're just going to sit in the car calmly, just being on your phone, playing around, maybe eating on a snack that you have and just chilling. And you're just going to wait it out. You're just going to do what you have to do. And in this particular case, it's just going to take just sitting back, playing on your phone, waiting until so-and-so comes. And then that's it. All of a sudden, the hour and a half goes by and you're back on the road. And so what's the likelihood of you getting a flat tire? It's almost like literally 1 in a million, probably more, especially if you barely drive. And so it's not really a big deal. I mean, it's just like, are you trying to never get a cut in your life? Are you trying to never drop something from your hand? It's one of the things that are going to happen. Maybe you're going to drop something one day. You dropped your phone many times. It's, the way I look at it is, well, my phone dropped. It's just like, well, who knows how that happened, but it slipped out of my hand. It dropped. What can I do? Nothing. I can't reverse time 5 seconds to not have that happen. It's just the phone drops and the phone breaks because it breaks, so what can you do about that? And it makes me appreciate life that I dropped my phone. It's like, well, I guess this is a good test that you're still alive. Things can still drop out of your hand. It can break. You can still feel the emotion of how much that sucks. It sucks that your phone dropped and cracked. But it's a good test to realize, wow, things crack when they fall. Yeah, this is, you're alive. That's the experience of being alive. You can see glass break. You can experience how cold it is and realize how much it sucks, and then maybe do something about that, like wearing a jacket. You can experience wearing a jacket and looking nice wearing a nice jacket. And this is all part of life is. You're going to have to wear a jacket when it's cold. It's chilly, it sucks, but at least you're warm with a nice jacket. And you just go and do what you do. You experience the season of the cold. And that's it. And so, when it's cold, it's cold. That's the way I see it. When it's hot, it's hot. That's the way I see it. Question is, where am I in that moment? What am I doing in that time? I'm cold. Cold where? Cold in the car? Cold in the house? Cold in the basement? Cold at your job? Cold at the grocery store? Cold going for a run? And what am I wearing? Am I doing something about the cold? And so, it makes me appreciate life. I get to experience being in traffic. It sucks being in traffic, but, it makes me realize that I'm not the only one that's alive. I'm not the only one that drives. I'm not the only one that got their license. And so everyone's driving around because of the same reason I am. Everyone's alive. Everyone enjoys the commute. Everyone has somewhere to go, whether it's for a reason or just for fun. And, if I'm out and there's a lot of people out and there's traffic, it's because maybe we all thought about the same idea. Maybe we all have somewhere to go right now. And it makes me appreciate life that there's other people. And, it allows me to have the patience and be like, you know what? All these people have somewhere to go. People in front of me thinks it sucks in traffic. The people behind me are in traffic. We're all in traffic right now. And so that's just what it is. It's just more like, whatever. If anything, if it bothers me, I just maybe try to drive less. Or maybe try to do something at a time where there isn't much traffic. I do something to compensate, a little bit. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to be in traffic, that's just what it is. And then, it makes me realize how much traffic isn't even that long of a traffic. I mean, let's say I'm in traffic. I could just hate on the traffic and all that, but I could just think in a different way and just acknowledge that the traffic I'm in was only 3 minutes tops, maybe 5 the max. Just 5 minutes of traffic, 5 minutes of my life. I'm always getting to places on time. Today it's just a little 5-minute difference. And that's just how it is. I start to realize that the traffic isn't even that long. It's just that I just want to go so badly that I don't realize that it's only 3 minutes that I can probably just chill and just maybe listen to one song that just plays in the radio. And I'm not saying that traffic doesn't suck. I'm just saying that because I'm thinking about it differently, it makes me appreciate life a little more. It's like, man, and that's what gives me the patience more. It's just more like, man, I'm experiencing the human being life right now, being in traffic. I'm alive. A lot of people aren't alive to experience traffic ever again. And so, it just makes me realize that it's just part of life, man. Seeing traffic, it's just a sign of life, a sign of, everything's still happening. People still have places to go. Everything's still operating. There's still money to be earned, stuff to do. There's still that grocery shopping to do. There's still that, if you like to pick up alcohol, maybe you like cannabis, you're going to these locations, to the dispensary to pick it up. And it's going to require for you to be in a little bit of traffic or not. And plus the time to get there to pick it up, and you're going to go through that just to have your fun. Maybe you want to take your family out to a fun place, Six Flags, whatever. It's going to take that hour and a half to get there, plus some traffic, plus the gas, and just dealing with getting there. But that's part of life. And then you realize you had a lot of fun. Maybe it was packed in Six Flags, but if you can appreciate life, you realize everyone's there to have fun. And so that should be amazing that you're at a place where everyone is just all about trying to have fun and trying to have a good day. If you are at your job, just think about it like, man, everyone's here to earn money. Your supervisor's there to earn money. If there was no supervisor at all, you'd probably be the supervisor. Because no one steps up and everyone keeps leaving. You'd probably end up being the supervisor. And the point is that everyone's there to earn money. Everyone signed up because they needed money and that job came across. And this is the job. Everyone's clocking in to earn money, not because they don't want to, but because they like to earn money. The best you can do is find out if this is the job for you. You look into the job, you go to the interview, you check the place out, and if it's something you like to do to earn money for some time, you do it just for the sake of the money. And then you can have a plan on top of a plan. The plan of working at that job with the plan of saving to do something else, or maybe leave the job. If you don't like working 40 hours a week nonstop, well, find a job that pays well, that cuts the time down. Maybe you can work 3 days a week at slightly more than the 40 hours a week job. You know, and you just made life 100 times more easier. So you take that habit of making that part easier, and do something else and adjust it to make that easier, so you can do that and that. And you can just be a productive, a productive flow, man. And yeah, all that is what has had me appreciate life. And ever since I started doing this, I feel like I am cutting down the time more in my mind. I feel like I have more patience, way more patience. Like, I don't even care, dude. I could just drag the time out, just fiddling my fingers, having the time of my life. Time does not drag anymore. Obviously, I can acknowledge something. I can acknowledge still that something sucks. I prefer something that happened, not happened, but it happened. And I just say, you know what? Whatever. It happened. And that's it. And that's another thing too, is I've realized that when it comes to that being it, that's it. Like, when that's it, that's it. When I got this cut, that's it. I got it. I got the cut. If let's say, let's say you, like I said, you dropped your phone and it got cracked. Like, that's it. I've learned that when that's it, that's it. Like, there's nothing much more around things. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, for example, if time's going to be a drag and you're going to do something, I've learned that task is there. That thing is there. And I realize that thing, that's it. Especially if this thing that's in the way is something that, if you do it, it's just going to help you. It'll help you earn money. It'll help you get closer to being in a better position to earn money, or it'll just help you accomplish something. Let's say you wanted to write a book. The thing about the book is you'd have to write it. You have to have something to write for like about over 100 pages. And that, if you're thinking about writing a book, that's it. Just writing the book. If you're sitting there writing and you're feeling the drag of how annoying writing the book is, well, believe it or not, that's all there is to it. It's just writing the book. You can't look behind the idea of writing the book. Like, if you just go behind the idea of writing the book, you can just get there and the book's written. It's just that this book thing is just what it is. You have to write it. It's just the one thing you have to do. Can you get that one thing right? Right. Can you write? Yeah, everyone can write. Can you write stuff? Yeah, everyone can write stuff. Can you write stuff that makes a story? Who knows? Why is writing stuff that makes a story different? Because other people are going to think about it and it has to make sense. And so it's just going to take a process, maybe a while, to make sense for a story. But the point is that that's what it is. If you wanted to start a cooking channel on YouTube, that's what it is, cooking. You're going to need a good camera set up. You're going to need the recipes. You're going to need the ingredients. You're going to need the name of the thing. You're going to need everything in prep, so you just look like just flying through things and, you know, you just getting to it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take just that. It's going to take a little more of a process than the book, believe it or not, but probably going to be more easier to some other people to just do that, because cooking is very simple. The only difference now is the consistency of the cooking for the channel. You're going to have a brand name. You're going to have your brand name in a couple different platforms. You're going to have an intro song. You're going to have, your logo. You're going to have how many times you make this, how many times you post it. You know, you're going to have to have invested in the camera, maybe the computer, the program to edit, sharing it, maybe paying for advertising to show it to people. It's going to take that. And that's it. If you get a flat tire, that's it. You know, there's no further thinking beyond it. Further thinking beyond it is just being frustrated and being heavily annoyed by it. But if you think about it as that's it, well, that's it. Now you do the next that's it, and that is to solve your problem. And then when you solve your problem, that's it. There's nothing beyond that. It's not like you solve the problem and out comes the same problem from a different way, like it just warped to another side. And now you have to solve that problem like it's a game where it just doesn't end until you did it 4 times. Like when you call to solve that flat tire and you pay the $80, or maybe you even got it for free. Someone hooked you up. You know, when that's it. You finally got your tire and you're going. And that's another thing I've realized. I thought about it like that. You know, if you're late somewhere, that's it, man. You're just late. And it's just, you just have to appreciate life more, because a lot of people don't appreciate life or think about things like that. And so the more 1% you could be in any area, I think the better your likelihood to be more successful. Think about it. If you are more fit and more healthier than people around you, that moves you more to a different percent. Being more you, being the only one, or being limited. And so the more limited you are in great areas, the more marketable you could be. For example, here you are being healthy, fit, more than other people around you, maybe your whole block, maybe your whole city. You're one of the fittest, one of the few. With that, you could start making, let's say, you start making a YouTube channel. Maybe you start an Instagram. And because this is what you're about, and you're that few that does this and is fit, you're delivering content to people that matters. And plus you look fit. And so things start working for you because you look fit and you're talking about stuff that matters in the health world. And so you were that more exclusive, limited person, because there's not a lot of fit people around or healthy people. And so you being that, that limited percent of someone that does this, it's like you're almost becoming that 1%, as they say, that's very successful. It's like you're getting closer. And so here you are doing this video, this healthy fitness thing. And on top of that, let's say you are doing something else. Let's say, what else could you possibly be doing? Let's say you're selling merchandise. On top of that, well, that's just that extra stuff that you're doing, that just like your fitness and healthy, that's that extra that maybe a lot of people in your area, around you, your neighbors, not a lot of people are doing that. And so here you are feeding yourself yet another thing that lets you be closer to that 1% of people that's doing these things that matters. And so let's say on top of that, I'm trying to think, what else can you do? Let's say on top of that, you are doing product reviews. Okay. And so here you are doing these three things that a lot of people in combination, doing these three things that a lot of people around you isn't doing. Your friends, family, strangers, neighbors around you, a lot of people from your area, maybe city, your state. Not a lot of people are doing this. But because you're doing more yourself a favor. And you become closer to that 1%. And the point I'm trying to get at is that because you're doing these things and you're doing it well, and you're just doing it more than not, you're doing yourself a favor to be someone that can get followers. For example, people can start liking your stuff. People can become aware of all these three things you're doing, and it becomes locked into their minds that you are this person doing these things and they're not. And so people can look at you and get a little bit of inspiration from that. They can acknowledge your fitness. They can acknowledge the healthy things you do. They can acknowledge that you do product reviews. They can acknowledge about your merchandise that you have, and realize, wow, this person does all these three things. They're talking interestingly. They are making sense. They're saying facts. They're putting things in a way that you haven't thought of. And so to other people, that could lock into their minds, acknowledging you. And that's how you could potentially get customers, people to, follow you on your social media. And that's just how you get something going. And you're doing yourself a favor doing this. And all that can have you appreciate life more, because it's like, wow, I can do this. This is something I like to do. I can do that. It's something I like to do. And And so that's what this podcast was mainly about today, is appreciating life in a way that you have never thought about it before. And just pretty much doing yourself a favor. Because it's a favor others won't be able to do for you. You know, it's just those simple things, which all literally is about how you think about it. Just sitting in deep thought until a realization like this comes to mind. And then taking that realization and realizing it more and more until you realize more that, you know, this traffic is more okay than not. You know, maybe if there wasn't traffic, there'd be something going on. You know, maybe there's an apocalypse now and just nobody driving. You know, that if you think in a more deeper way, and you just start acknowledging things. Let's say your pipe breaks in the house. You just start thinking about, man, learn about what can cause a pipe to break. And then you may realize that to fix it, it's not even a big deal. To fix it, it's just going to cost less than what you thought. And so you can just fix the pipe. And now you know more. Now you know about pipes. And so that's how pretty much I live my life, is like thinking about things like that and appreciating life, appreciating tense moments in life, you know, dealing with petty people. Of course, I may not like these people, but the fact that I could just say these people suck and just never even think about worrying about looking at these people or talking to these people again, that makes me appreciate life. It's like, wow, I can just never see these people again. That's it. And I just do myself a favor more and more and more. And so, yeah, I recommend appreciating life more and just thinking about things in a deeper sense. And you're going to see that you make your life easier, and you could just live more free, you know, because a lot of people are just, all they know is just going to their careers, going to the bar after work, and just going and going and going. And these people are just stressing. They over worry. You know, they overthink about things. And you could just be that person that is completely chilling all the time. That person that's tripping out can just be like pulling their hair, like, oh man, they can be making great money in their career, blah blah blah. They're a high official here, blah 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 blah. But here you are doing a bunch of things that you like to do, and here you are dealing with the job. Maybe it's just in the same field, but the people can always acknowledge you and say, this person is always calm. This person always seems to know what to do. This person, even in a tense situation that they should be worrying and panicking, they're just like, oh, you know what? Chill. And you can be so chill and relaxed that it can even create controversy. How? Well, someone could say, oh man, you don't care. Oh, you're always relaxed. Is it because you don't care? And it's like, no, dude. It's not that I don't care. It's just more like I realized ahead of time that that's it. And so now I have to accept that and just be chill about it and focus more on just doing something. And I'm using that chill mindset and being relaxed and, like nothing's going on. That is what is having me do X, Y, and Z and all this stuff in a breeze. It's the fact that I'm so chilling that I'm going and going and going. But they don't know that yet. They don't know. You had to explain to them this. And now just think about that. Creating controversy, just being relaxed. Wow. But yeah, hopefully people hearing this learn something and just realize that you can never give up. You have to think positive and appreciate life.